ahead. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Bridget Nyandoro. I am with the organization Justice for Women, which is an organization that seeks to demand justice for the women in Zimbabwe and demand the respect that we deserve as women. I will not get much into detail. I'll leave it to my colleague and spokesperson of the organization, Cosette Chirinda, to give out our statement, and thereafter maybe we can have one or two questions from the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. As Justice for Women Zimbabwe, we are here today under such sad and unpleasant circumstances. We stand here aggrieved by the situation in this country as regards to violence against women perpetrated by state institutions, particularly the police. The police have the responsibility to protect citizens, but have been turned into a partisan institution which devours anyone with a dissenting voice. The recent abductions, assaults, detention, and sexual abuse of female activists is deplorable and must be condemned with the contempt it deserves. The concern on the indiscriminate human rights violations being committed by the state are on the rise, and most of it has unfortunately affected the innocent female citizens of this country. As we speak, the record of brutality against innocent female Zimbabweans speaks for itself. Linda Masarira has been in illegal detention for more than 60 days now. Kerina Gweshe was abducted, beaten, and damned at Harare Central Police Station, showing a direct link between the perpetrators and the police. Mando Wamaneshu was arrested and jailed soon after the first NERA organized demonstration, leaving behind a 3-year-old baby. And even heinous event saw a woman in her late 60s being abducted, tortured, and forced to have sexual intercourse with a young man old enough to be her grandchild. The pair was later damned at Police Law and Order section, exposing the state having unashamedly outsourced torture on the innocent women. Women are being exposed to physical and psychological abuse. They are being assaulted and raped. The state is at the center of these violations, and in fact, the abuse of these women is state-sponsored and merrymaking and assaulting these women in the process. These women were further unlawfully detained, with one Beatrice Ruchara, who is still nursing a baby, who couldn't breastfeed a child the whole of yesterday. At around 7 p.m., that is when the court said arrangements should be made to follow with the child to Chukurubi for breastfeeding and take the child back home. This shows highest levels of women's abuse and disrespect for women's rights. The state has a mandate to protect us as women. It has a mandate to ensure that our voices and concerns are heard and acted upon without us being violated and our efforts being thwarted. As women, we should feel safe when the police is around us because they are supposed to protect us. We have a right as women to feel safe in our own country. We will not sit and watch the normalization of state-sponsored violence on women going unabated. The government must stop this violence against women forthwith and must ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book within the next 7 days. Thank you.
That was the long and short of our statement is Justice for Women. I will now open the floor for those with questions.
Privilege to come in. I just wanted to ask, you representing the voice of women, one would say but this violence is not only being meted upon women alone. Also, men are also being affected. Why specifically for women?
We are not saying that men are not being victims of this violence, but as an organization that represents women, we saw it necessary to condemn abuse on women.
Is there anything that you are doing with Justice for Women to assist women that have been arrested?
Yes, as Justice for Women, we've been trying to visit these women who are in detention, and we have also been liaising with the lawyers and trying to see if they need any help in the police cells and even those at prison, at Chukurubi prison, to see if they need anything. We've been visiting Linda Masarira for a while now, and we have also talked to a mother who is taking care of the children, and we've been trying to outsource funds so that her children are well taken care of when their mother is still in detention.
You've given the government 7 days to act. What if the government failed to do so in 7 days? What are you going to do?
If the government fails to protect us as women, as it is supposed to protect us, and if they fail to bring the perpetrators to book within 7 days, we are going to take matters into our hands. We are going to get into the streets. We are going to march to their offices. They strip us naked and they beat us whilst we are naked. If they want to see our naked bodies, we are going to march to their offices naked so that they really see us naked. And we see what's next, because we are tired of this abuse. It's clear that this abuse is state-sponsored, and we want the government to act forthwith, or we are going to act as women.
What steps have you taken in terms of engaging the relevant authorities, like the Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission, or even the police themselves, in terms of all this abuse that's happening?
We have written a petition, but the petition is still being signed by quite a number of women, which we are going to hand over to the Minister of Home Affairs and the Minister of Women's Affairs in the next 7 days.
Okay, but don't you think waiting for a petition to be signed than to just first of all engage and waiting for signatures would be delaying the action?
Since we are also going to be waiting for the 7 days for them to act as the government, like we said, we have given them 7 days to act and make sure that the perpetrators are brought to book. We are also going to be organizing ourselves to see if the government is going to come on our side as women and act for us. If the government doesn't act on our side as women, then that is when we are going to start acting.
In terms of the women that we have been visiting in prison, how many, because we understand, just like you were saying, that one woman yesterday, a baby had to be taken to the prison for breastfeeding. How many of the women that are in prison right now were arrested because of this unrest that has been happening? Have their children in custody, or do we have lactating children who wants to be breastfed?
So far, we've got about 6 women who've got babies, but they don't have the babies in detention with them. Their babies are at home.
Any more questions? Okay, so if we do not have any further questions,